Okay, hi everyone, welcome back, and in this video we are going to check out Polygon's price chart, and I'm going to tell you why probably soon I'm going to open some long positions again. But before that, let's zoom in more and see what is happening. And if you remember in the previous video, we were right around this area, and I said in the next 48 hours we are going to have a decent move up, but the move itself is not really that important. You need to pay attention to the shape of the move, because if we get a correction in order to have a retest of this level, odds are our move down is not over and we are going to do something like this. And unfortunately that scenario played out, and I think we can all agree on the fact that this is a 1 2 3 4 5 into a correction for wave B and another strong impulse on the upside into our C leg. Now, what is happening starting from this high? If you remember in the previous update, we said this can be 5 wave down, this can be yet another 5 wave on the downside, and so far I was saying this is an A, B, C zigzag. Now, if this is a zigzag, this is ABC up, then I think we need to count on having in here another ABC in form of a zigzag in order to complete the subwaves on a higher degree for a WXY in form of a double zigzag. And based on that, I think this move down so far is just a 5-wave impulsive structure. So I'm going to say this, in Polygon there's a decent chance we may have 5 down into A. This move might be a correction up into wave B, and what are we going to have next? Maybe another short-term move on the downside into our C leg, and what can be a likely target for it if we are having indeed a double zigzag in this area. I think you can get help from Fibonacci retracement, and let's put our Fibonacci from this point to about the highest size. So this point, which we got a short-term reaction from it, is around the 61.8% level. Now, if we are having an ABC, I think the target for this C leg is going to be somewhere around the 78% level, which is about like the 22.5 cents area. And right in here, I believe I'm going to open some long positions in Polygon. Why is that? Is that because I am like 100% bullish and I think this is going to maybe something like this mark our final low, and from here we are going to get a very strong bounce back? No, I'm not sure about that. In fact, I'm not even sure whether tomorrow I'm going to be alive or not. So I think we can all agree there is no certainty about predicting future. We are only talking about possibilities, and based on possibilities and also my risk to reward ratios, makes sense for me to right in here open some long positions. You see, if I open a long right around, let's say, the 22 cents area, what's going to be my stop loss? I think it should be under this low down here, about, let's say, 20.5 cents. So basically I'm having about 1.5 to 2 cents a stop loss. On the other hand, what's my target? Well, the bare minimum one can be reaching to somewhere around this high, about 27.5 cents, but I think a better target can be around this important area of supply, about, let's say, 30 cents. So essentially I'm having like a maximum 2 cents stop loss, but around an 8-9 cents target, and that means my risk to reward ratio is about 1 to 4, which is absolutely amazing. Okay, if I open trades like this long enough, at the end of the day, I think I'm going to end up making money. That's why I'm opening a long position in Polygon if we get something like this. Now, question, what if we don't get it and instead this is the end of our correction, and maybe this is still an ABC zigzag, but to around the lowest low down here, about 23.2 cents. Well, okay, let's go around here. Question, when can we say we have our final low right around this area? When we see a 1 2 3 4 5 wave up off of it. This specific example is an impulse. Rules for it are we should not have overlapping of the waves between wave 2 and 4, and in any kind of 5 wave, wave 3 should not be the smallest wave, and for our subwaves, you know the deal, 5 wave up into wave 1, 3 and 5. Let's change the colors to white. There we go. Another 5 into wave 3, and this is our final 5 wave into 5. And for wave 2 and 4, we can have different counts. Let's say, yeah, okay, ABC into wave 2 and a WXY into wave 4. Now let's go on the live chart and see what is happening, and maybe it's best to go on 5-minute time frame. And again, I feel like I should say this in every single video. I'm doing this for the sake of educational purposes. In my own time, I rarely go on such lower time frames. So What is going on in here? I believe this is 1, this is 2, wave 3 and 4 and 5. Followed by that, this is probably a correction structure down, maybe in form of like an ABC zigzag or a WXY, not really that important. Now, in the short term in Polygon, if I see something like this, maybe another small move up and then a move down, okay, I think I'm able to say, assuming that all the rules are going to apply to this structure being a 5 wave in form of a wedge, this is 1, this is 2, wave 3 and 4 and 5, but that is not going to be enough for me. I'm going to pay full attention to the shape of this important move on the downside, okay? That is kind of the key. If I see a slow and choppy move, okay, odds are right around here, I'm going to open a long position and my risk to reward ratios are going to be pretty much the same. Now, can we have another scenario? Yes, instead of having a wedge, we may have from here 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5, and then we get a correction structure, maybe like an ABC and yet another 5 wave on the upside. And at that point, on a higher degree, what are we having? Yet again, another 5 wave, this time in form of an impulse. And what's going to happen after this is over? You know the story. Once more, we are going to have a move down. And again, the shape of this move is the key. If I see all the right subwaves, maybe before we have another move down, I'm going to call this point the low of our correction in Polygon. And in here, I'm going to open some line positions. The point that I'm trying to make is this. In Polygon, overall, I think we are looking bullish as long as we are not taking this important low about 20.5 cents. What if we do take it? At that point, we are probably going to argue this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to about the highest high, and now it's time for a deep move on the downside, which ended we may actually go all the way down here about like 17-18 cents. I think that can happen, but as long as we are not doing that, we can say this is an extension scenario, meaning this is 1, this is 2, and then we're going to get a massive move up into wave 3, 4, 5, which on a higher degree might be into this wave 5. And at that point, fair enough, once more, we're going to argue soon we are going to get a move on the downside. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in Polygon. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time with your family and loved ones. Goodbye.